Hi everyone, welcome back to Top Notch Lectures. In the previous video, we have seen about the basic concepts of cost accounting. In this video, we will see about the material cost. Let's go into the video. Element of cost. Under this, we will see what cost ascertainment is. Cost ascertainment is a process of determining actual cost after they have been incurred. Cost estimation. It is the process of determining future cost in advance before production starts on the basis of the actual past cost adjusted for anticipated future changes. Here, cost ascertainment and cost estimations are interrelated. In case a concern has a sound costing system, the ascertainment cost will greatly help the management in the process of estimation of rational accurate cost which are necessary for variety of purpose. The next part is material control. Here it's a definition of the material control. Actually, material control involves the planning, organizing, controlling the procurement, storage and usage of material so as to achieve the objectives of efficiency and economy. Here there are few objectives of material control system. The first objective. So these objectives has been prescribed by ICMI and in your CMA inter-study material it has been given. So I will explain you this by one. To make continuous availability of materials so that there may be uninterrupted flow of materials for production. It means the various materials and stores which are necessary for carrying out production smoothly should always be readily available. The situation of understocking is to be avoided. This is because stoppage of production due to any reason is very costly and the person in charge of supply of materials and stores must see to it that the production is not interrupted for want of materials and stores at any cost. The next objective is to purchase requisite quantity of materials, to avoid locking up of working capital and to minimize risk of surplus and obsolete stores. Here, if there is any investment in stocks of materials and stores, it should be kept as low as possible. That is, stock should be maintained at an optimum level so that it could avoid overstocking and at the same time ensures its availability at all times. Moreover, the next objective is to make purchase competitively and wisely at the most economical prices so that there may be reduction of material cost. Here, this is another objective of material control, ensuring that there is any proper quality and price. Purchasing goods of inferior quality or of very superior quality is of no use because for every job there is a particular quality of materials which is needed and the quality alone should be purchased. Prices also must not be of unnecessarily high. The fourth objective is to purchase proper quality of materials to have a minimum possible wastages of materials. That is, while using the materials in the factory, the wastages must be kept at the minimum possible level. Some wastages is unavoidable, but efficiency demands that the wastages must not be allowed to go above a certain level. The last objective is to serve as an information center on the material knowledge for price, source of supply, lead time, quality and specifications. So here it should be worked as an information center where it should have a clear knowledge about the material in the market and also the sources of supply, lead time, quality, and also some specifications. The next one is techniques of material control. First technique, purchasing of material. The next one is storage of materials. Third one, fixation of stock levels and economic order quantity. So at this third level of techniques of the material control, we will see problems and solutions. The fourth one, ABC analysis and stock trading, stock taking. Next, inventory turnover ratio and index and control ratios. Let's see one by one. Purchasing of material. Here, purchasing involves buying of right material at right price at the right time and in right quantity. To carry on the function of the purchase efficiency, a centralized purchase department should be established. All purchases must be made through the central purchase department, and which brings the efficiency and economy in buying. So this department should be under the in charge of the purchase manager. It is also necessary to give code numbers to all the materials for easy identification and efficient handling. Okay, now we will see about the main duties of the purchase department. So these are the 5 main duties of the purchase department, that is, what materials is to be purchased and when is to be purchased, from where, that is the location is to be purchased, and how much, that is the quantity is to be purchased, finally at what price it should be purchased. Purchase procedure. Depending upon the size and nature of the operations, the purchase procedure may differ from one organization to other. Here there are few steps how the purchase procedure works out. The first one is receipt of purchase requisition. Second step comes to selection of supplier. Third one, preparation, placement and follow-up of purchase order. Step 4, receipt of materials. Fifth step, inspection of materials. Step 6, return of rejected materials. Step 7, checking and passing of purchase invoices for payment. Step 8, making payment to suppliers. Now, here there is a specimen of purchase requisition has been given. Now, purchase requisition, usually the purchase department initiates the action for purchase of materials. Purchase requisition is a written document prepared by the department requiring material which is used to make a formal request to the purchase department to purchase the materials specified therein. Here, in this purchase requisition form, it contains 2 dates, that is, date of issuing purchase requisition and date by which material is required. If the purchase is of regular nature, then the storekeeper prepares the purchase requisition specifying the date by which material is required, keeping in view the rate of consumption of materials and the minimum level fixed for it. In case of a specific material, special purchase requisition is prepared by the concerned production department. And this is the specimen of purchase requisition. Here the purchase requisition is generally prepared in triplicate and in different colors. Of them, one is sent to the purchase department or the person having authority to buy. The second one is retained by the request initiating department. The third one is it is sent to the approver for approving the purchase requisition, that is to the accounting department. The next is step 2, selection of supplier. Usually the purchase department maintains up-to-date list of the suppliers of material. It should have up-to-date knowledge about the price and other market conditions by sending inquiry letters, inviting tenders and quotations from the suppliers. He has to analyze the terms relating the price and quality of material, time and mode of delivery, payment conditions, reliability of suppliers before he selects one supplier. Normally, he prepares a comparative statement of quotations received so as to compare the price and terms and conditions and select the one whose term is favorable. The next step is preparation, placement and follow-up of the purchase order. Usually, it's a duty of the purchase department to take proper measures to ensure timely receipt of goods ordered. It should be in constant touch with the receiving department to know whether the orders have been executed as per schedule. It generally maintains a schedule stating the order number, name of the suppliers, the expected date of delivery, actual date of delivery, etc. in order to take follow-up action. Usually, here the follow-up action involves obtaining confirmation from the suppliers about the supply, keeping an eye over the arrangements made by them to deliver the goods and sending them reminders if required by telegrams, telephones. Usually now the telegram has been abolished and now it will be through emails, WhatsApp and other social networks. The next step is step 4 is receipt of material. Usually in large scale organization there will be a separate department to receive the material ordered and get them inspected. But in small concerns, it may be entrusted to the storekeeper himself. When the goods ordered or received, the receiving clerk checks as to whether the packages and their contents are intact or not and compares the quantity and particulars with the supplier's delivery note and the copy of the purchase order. In some cases, counting and sorting of materials are also required. In some other cases, laboratory testing is required. And while in some cases, material is required to be stored in some special storage like storing of inflammable liquids. The person who is authorized to receive the goods must compare the description, quantity, quality and other requirements contained in the purchase order. He would sign off delivery note as an acknowledgement of receipt of goods. Again, the material will be inspected by an inspector who will in turn prepare material inspection note. He has to verify the quality and suitability of materials in accordance with the specifications as given in the purchase order. So, the receiving clerk here can be prepare another note called goods received note in quadruplicate. Quadruplicate means 4 copies. Usually the original copy of the goods received note will be sent to the stores department. The second copy will be to the accounts department, third copy to the purchase department and the last 4th copy is retained by the receiving department for future reference. This conveys all the departments about the quantity and quality of materials obtained. The next thing is return of rejected materials. The above explanation is for the step 4 and step 5. The step 6 is return of rejected materials. Sometimes the materials received are not according to the ordered goods in respect of quality, quantity, etc. In such cases, the receiving department will return them to the supplier along with a note called goods returned note. Usually, this goods return note will be prepared in 5 copies. One is sent to the supplier, the second one is to the stores department, the third one is to the purchase department, fourth one is to the accounting department and the 5th copy is retained for the future reference. The last two steps will be explained now, that is the checking and passing of purchase invoices for payment and making payment to the supplier. So this is the last step in the purchase routine usually. As and when the supplier's invoice is received, its authenticity and accuracy is checked with reference to the purchase order and materials received report by the accounting and stores department. Arithmetical accuracy is also verified. The items like invoice price, freight, tax, etc. are to be checked carefully. Having checked all these items, the bill is passed and sent for the accounting section, which makes the payment by accepting a stamped receipt. Hope you guys are clear with this video. In the next video, we will see about the continuation of material cost. Kindly subscribe and click on the bell icon for further notifications. Meet you in the next video.